This happened on this summer, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. This August me and my sister shared a room during our vacation. I've always been a light sleeper, so whenever I wake up I tend to go to the bathroom or go to drink water. A particular night towards the end of our trip I woke up in the middle of the night, and just tried to go back to sleep, but, and this has only happened to me once, I felt my vision going blurry and falling asleep, and I, for some reason uttered, "I am in a dream," uncannily loud inside my head. Then, when I opened my eyes I couldn't see, not that I saw black, I felt my eyes blinking, but nothing was registering. At the same time I was in what I can only describe in a sleep paralysis type state, because I couldn't move or speak, plus going blind, and worst of all, when I became aware that I was asleep, all sound, from my sleeping sister's rhythmic breathing, from the sounds of the street became an extreme and loud glitchy buzzing noise. Imagine a broken printer. The sound was the worst of all of this by far. I can only describe it as every sound glitching inside my head. All this happened in the span of maybe 10 seconds, and was nothing like I have ever experienced. When everything snapped back to normal, I was left horrified and in silence for a few minutes, so I woke up my sister to tell her this, before I actually fell asleep. I have experienced sleep paralysis a few times now, mostly when I was a kid, and this was nothing like it. And me triggering this event, by realizing that I was sleeping, has never happened to me. Anyways, English isn't my first language, so excuse any bad English. I work in a haunted pub. Alright, so I've been sitting on this for a year or so, but the longer I wait the more shit happens, so I kinda just wanna dump everything out and you guys can bully me for being a pussy and or give advice. So I'm an apprentice chef. I started about a year and a half ago and the job itself is a dream come true. My coworkers quickly become like family. The pub is the only good restaurant and bar in town, so I already knew most the people there just from hanging around there. Small town, you know how it is. The pub itself was one of the first buildings in town. I think the oldest parts are roughly 140 to 150 years old. So about 6 months into my apprenticeship I started having really weird experiences. It started one day when the head chef was outside talking to a delivery driver. I was packing away bags of pasta in the dry store when I hear someone come in through the staff-only door that is connected to the gaming room, Pokey's room. I quickly check it out cause it was relatively early in the morning, like 9-ish, which for whatever reason is prime time for the low-cat crackheads to lose money on the slot machines and have a meltdown and accidentally walk into the kitchen. So I walk into the main kitchen room and lo and behold, nothing, the door is closed and still. Fuck it, I am tired as shit, probably imagined it. Go back to packing away pasta. The door opens again and I walk out. No one there, again, whatever. Runts and Relier 1 or 2 more times and I hear my head chef walking in from the outside door. I knew it was the outside door cause it makes this really noticeable squeak that drives me fucking mental. I asked him about something to do with the order, and as he replies to me I see him unlock the other door. The one I heard open and close 3 or 4 times. Keeping in mind there are only 2 doors to exit the kitchen and each have very distinct noises you associate with them. They sound nothing like the cool room or bathroom doors. Fast forward a week or 2 and I get in half an hour early to make pizza bases. I was standing in the middle of the room on a BWNCH rolling out the dough when I get this weird cliche icy feeling on the right side of my neck. I spin around to see what's causing it and for the briefest of moments see a black shadowy figure peeking around the corner to the dry store maybe 2 meters behind me. All night long, every time I could glance over towards the dry store doorway I would either see this apparition again briefly or shudder. This still happens from time to time, but it's different now cause it's just kind of like white noise, but that initial night was freaky. A few honorable mentions are my turning knife disappearing, the one and only time I've ever needed it. only to appear in my knife bag about 5 minutes after getting yelled at for losing it drinking a beer in the bar after my shift in Ehile mid-conversation. Everything just went completely silent for about 5 to 10 seconds, multiple times yelling, "Service," and hearing a reply only to realize no waitresses are in the kitchen smelling cigarettes in the cool room. The event that made me decide maybe this story was worth telling happened last night. So over the past month one of the bars in the building got completely redone, it all pink and floral compared to its beige and dark beige it had preciously. For anonymity's sake I don't wanna give away what they named the bar, but it's named after the guy who built the original pub. So last night me and my mates were testing out this new bar, and a few drinks in we start talking about the guy who built the pub. I'm really into local history so I was going decently in depth about everything when all of a sudden there's this massive thud. It came from nowhere but everyone in the room heard it. While everyone's silent and looking around one of my mates pipes up, "It's probably the ghost of insert guy who built the pub's name here coming to have a pint in his new bar," and as much as it pains me to say it got a decent laugh. Until the second thud. This time no one said anything and in the silence, I swear to God, Allah, Muhammad, whatever deity you want me to swear to, I am not making this up. In the silence I heard whispered in my ear, "Group of queers." Like what even the fuck? What am I meant to do with that sentence? Anyways, that's all I've got off the top of my head. Feel free to ask questions, or if you need anything clarified.